And we have no idea what Jennifer Lopez thinks about any of this or whether she ever witnessed anything that concerned her when it comes to minors, women, men, or
Hollywood just got hit with a thunderclap, and it's coming straight from behind bars. Ben Affleck, the usually tight-lipped Oscar winner, is allegedly opening up about his true feelings toward Jennifer Lopez, and it's happening right as the ghosts of J.Lo's past with Sean Diddy Combs are crawling back into the spotlight. But that's just the beginning. Here's where it gets messy. Suge Knight, the former Death Row Records boss, currently serving time, just dropped a bomb on his new prison podcast, Collect Calls with Suge Knight. He claims the FBI raided Diddy's homes in 2024 and walked away with tapes. Among the footage allegedly found, Jennifer Lopez appears in moments that could connect her to a dark chapter from 1999, the nightclub incident where rapper Shine took the fall, serving time while J.Lo allegedly pointed the finger elsewhere.
Someone definitely pulled out a gun, and I was defending myself, Diddy, J.Lo, and all the friends that were with us, because it only takes a second for someone.
So what could this really expose? Well, that J.Lo lied about who owned the gun that night, and it wasn't Shine. It was Diddy's weapon. This revelation is straight up explosive. According to Suge, the FBI didn't keep those tapes to themselves. They allegedly went straight to Ben. Why? Because in Suge's words, he's a white man with respect in the white world. They wanted Affleck to see exactly who he married. And now, as Diddy fights to keep this incident out of his trial, the timing couldn't be worse for J.Lo. She and Diddy dated on and off from 1999 to 2001, right between her first and second marriages. And with Diddy's past relationships under a fresh microscope, including everyone from white party guests to Justin Bieber, J.Lo's name is suddenly red hot again, and not in a good way. You see, back in the late 90s, J.Lo wasn't just a rising superstar, she was Diddy's protege, and his +1 to everything that mattered. The two started dating in 1999, and by 2001, the spark had burned out. Lopez once gushed in a 2014 interview that Diddy taught me so many things, adding that there was still so much mutual respect and admiration between them. And then came the chaos of 1999. That year, a 31-year-old Diddy, still going by Puff Daddy, found himself in the middle of a New York City nightclub incident that would haunt everyone involved. He was partying with his bodyguard Anthony Wolf, rising rapper Shine, and his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez. But the night took a terrifying turn. A heated disagreement exploded into gunfire, leaving 3 people injured. And while both Combs and Shine were charged, Diddy walked free. Shine, he did the time. But the most injured victim of that night, Netanya Rubin, has never stopped talking. In her words, I watched him. I saw him with my own eyes.
Because according to the victims, it was Diddy that shot them. But I don't regret defending myself.
She's been screaming this since the start, and in 2008, she backed it up with a $130 million lawsuit against Combs. The case settled out of court in 2011, but Rubin hasn't gone quiet.
If I'm willing to have a doctor remove a part of the 9mm bullet in my face so that they can use it as evidence if need be for this trial.
In fact, she recently told the Daily Beast that Diddy's arrest was the best day ever. Of course, that's not all there is to that infamous night. After the shots were fired, Diddy, J.Lo, and their driver bolted from the club. What followed was a high-speed police chase through New York City. According to the Washington Post, a stolen firearm was found in their car. Both Diddy and Lopez were arrested. The charges were criminal possession of stolen property. J.Lo's were quietly dropped the next morning, but Diddy wasn't so lucky. He went to trial alongside 21-year-old Shine, who was hit with a long list of charges, including assault and weapon possession. While Lopez slipped away untouched, Shine wasn't so fortunate. Though he was acquitted of an attempted targeted attack, he served 10 years in prison. 10 years
of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life and who I forgave and who I moved on, and for the better interest of Belize.
For a crime that, to this day, nobody was ever officially convicted of committing. And then there's the bribery bombshell. According to The Guardian, Diddy allegedly offered the driver $50,000 to say the firearm was his. It didn't work, of course. Years after the incident took place, Jennifer Lopez once called it a complete nightmare. But while J.Lo has kept mostly tight-lipped about what really went down, the internet never forgets. And now, with Diddy's empire cracking and lawsuits piling up, all eyes are back on that infamous incident.
Used in the shooting. Now, she was charged at the time, but then those charges were dropped. What does all of this mean for J.Lo? Is it possible that the feds are already talking to her?
Back in 2000, Lopez gave a rare statement to British Elle, saying she had absolutely no idea what was going on. But that calm, clean version of events is now starting to unravel. Social media sleuths have been digging, and what they're claiming now is explosive. That Jennifer Lopez might have been more involved than she ever let on. Allegations are swirling that she may have provided the firearm used in the incident, the one that landed rapper Shine behind bars for a decade. Now, let's be crystal clear. There is no hard evidence tying Lopez to the weapon. But when it comes to celebrity scandals, smoke has a funny way of attracting fire. Think about it. Why does J-Lo's name always creeps back into the story? She was never charged. And yet, here we are, 25 years later, and she's still tangled in the headlines. Now, Jennifer's supporters say it's unfair. They say she's being dragged back into the dirt simply because she stood next to Diddy when it all went down. And honestly, they might have a point, but the many on the internet have not moved on. Now, hashtags like #JLo, 1999, and #Diddy controversy are catching fire on platforms like X, reigniting public curiosity and conspiracy theories alike. But what's important to know here is that there's more to this story than that 1999 incident. By 2003, Lopez wasn't singing love songs about Diddy. She told Vibe magazine that their relationship was emotionally chaotic and a whirlwind of cheating, tears, and psychological torment. "I was totally crying, crazy, and going nuts," she admitted. Diddy apparently wasn't just the man who helped launch her music career, he was also the first man who broke her heart and her trust, and that heartbreak left a mark. "It took my whole life in a tailspin," she confessed. But Diddy's shadow didn't just disappear. In her 2024 documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, J-Lo hinted at being manhandled in past relationships, with a couple of other unsavory things thrown in. She never named names, but the internet sure has its theories, especially now that her name is being tossed around in the same breath as Diddy's freak-off parties, the ones the world only whispered about before federal investigations dragged them into the light, the ones reportedly teeming with celebrities, power plays, and dark rumors. As Diddy's empire started to crack under the weight of old secrets, the courtroom lit up when Kid Cudi revealed. Day 9 of Combs' federal trial delivered a jaw-dropping twist when rapper Kid Cudi took the stand and dropped major heat. Cudi testified that he briefly dated Cassie Ventura, Diddy's then on-again, off-again girlfriend, back in 2011, and just months later, in January 2012, something explosive happened. "I got a call from my dog sitter," Cudi said in court. "She told me my car was on fire." Shocked and confused, Cudi rushed home. But before he even arrived, a friend texted him a photo that made his blood run cold. His Porsche convertible was mangled and torched. "The top of my Porsche was cut open, and that's where they inserted the Molotov cocktail," he testified.
And Mescudi had his Porsche firebombed in his driveway. No one was ever arrested, and Diddy denied involvement during a face-to-face in which Cudi described Combs as a Marvel supervillain.
The bottle had already burned out when he got there. But the message, clear as day. The car was totaled and scorched beyond repair. And here's the thing. Cassie had already testified earlier in the trial that Diddy became furious with her over her fling with Cudi and allegedly threatened to blow up Cudi's car. Now, with Cudi's emotional testimony and that firebombed Porsche in the picture, things are looking even darker for Combs. With the charred remains of Kid Cudi's Porsche still fresh in everyone's minds, Cassie Ventura's courtroom revelations shattered any doubt. Once Diddy's trial officially began in 2025, Cassandra Ventura gave heart-wrenching testimony that sent shockwaves through the courtroom.
Because she feared him and she wanted to make him happy, but feeling worthless, feeling disgusting, because she didn't want to do it.
She revealed harrowing details of physical abuse and control, describing days-long, substance-fueled, exploitative encounters with male escorts. All under Diddy's direction, Cassie didn't hold back.
She described the freak-offs in lurid detail. She testified about Diddy, who she called Sean, choreographing it all.
"I just felt pretty horrible about myself. I felt disgusting. I felt humiliated." She described how when Diddy's eyes go black, the man she loved disappeared, replaced by someone terrifying. She said she didn't want to take part in these so-called freak-offs, but felt like she didn't have much of a choice. The nightmare started around 2008 when Cassie was just 22, and these twisted encounters continued on and off throughout their turbulent relationship until their split in 2018. The parties happened everywhere. Diddy's homes, Cassie's homes, and luxury hotel suites around the globe.
They happened in hotel rooms around the world, New York City, Atlanta, LA, Miami, Turks and Caicos, as well as Ibiza. Aliases were used at the hotels: Jackie Starr for Ventura, Frank Black or Frank White for Combs.
And get this. The escorts were sometimes found on Craigslist, raking in anywhere from $1,500 to $6,000 a night. But these wild parties weren't just Cassie's nightmare. They pulled Jennifer Lopez in too, according to her first husband, Ojani Noah. Ojani jumped online recently to distance himself from the chaos, but was quick to spill that Lopez was very much part of that scene. Noah, clearly done playing nice, demanded the public start asking real questions. And by questions, he meant people should ask Jennifer what she knows about the alleged tapes and what really went down behind closed doors at Diddy's wildest parties. Now, this does raise one big question. How does Ojani know so much about Lopez and Diddy's relationship? Well, let's rewind. Back in 1997, Ojani, Noah, and Jennifer Lopez tied the knot. But less than a year later, it was over and Noah blamed Diddy.
Parte de ese divorcio fue por parte de Puffy. O me iba a Nueva York para estar con ella. Entonces ahí, en esa distancia, en esa separación, fue donde empezaron los engaños.
At first, it was business. Diddy was helping J-Lo craft her debut album On the 6. But it quickly turned personal, and as the lights on her career got brighter, her time for Ojani faded. She went from Jen to J-Lo, he told Daily Mail, and suddenly she was $1 million brand. Ojani, meanwhile, was left behind. He says her circle changed, her attitude changed, and she started hanging out with incredibly problematic people. Now, just as old wounds from J-Lo's past resurface, law enforcement is reopening a chilling chapter from Diddy's history. 2 law enforcement insiders have spilled to the Post that the notorious 1999 firearm incident might be dusted off again. This isn't just any probe. It's a full-on, no-holds-barred sweep targeting the 54-year-old mogul, whose shadowy past is filled with more than one mysterious incident involving firearms. In 2024, Homeland Security agents stormed Combs' luxury homes in both Los Angeles and Miami. According to New York defense attorney Michael DiCioaro, the feds are laser-focused, interviewing witness after witness. They're corroborating everything they can, DiCioaro said, and nothing, past or present, is off the table with Mr. Diddy right now. The timing of this crackdown is wild. Just a while ago, Rodney Lil Rod Jones dropped a bombshell lawsuit accusing Combs of a shocking string of highly inappropriate and exploitative behavior spanning over a year. Jones, who worked as a producer and videographer for the billionaire, left no stone unturned. He compared Diddy to Jeffrey Epstein, accusing him of grooming and forcing him into a twisted world of adult workers and substances.
Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a producer on Combs' latest album, filed a lawsuit Monday. He alleges that Combs sexually harassed and assaulted him.
Meanwhile, Diddy's lawyers are already in damage control mode. They're trying to knock out the testimony of a key witness in that infamous nightclub saga. The witness, likely his former chauffeur, Wardell Fenderson, claimed Diddy tried to bribe him with a whopping $50,000 diamond ring to take the fall for the gun found in the car. But Diddy's lawyers call that story patently incredible and highly questionable, pointing out that no such bling was ever found. They dismiss the whole thing as a wild fantasy. It looks like the defense is fighting tooth and nail to keep prosecutors from dragging in old dirt, like claims that Diddy physically harmed a record executive back in 1999. And get this, they want to ban a video that shows Diddy aggressively hurting ex Cassie Ventura. According to them, the footage was tampered with by CNN. They accuse the network of covering up the timestamp, altering the sequence, and speeding it up to make Diddy look worse than he really is.
The music mogul's lawyers are alleging that this video showing Diddy physically assaulting his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura.
Not just that, but Diddy's legal team is even firing back with fierce words against the prosecutor's game plan. They want the judge to slam the door on any talk about that old 1999 beef.
CNBC News Live reports, and Sean Diddy Combs' attorney is in a new court filing seeking to suppress evidence in his sex trafficking case.
Diddy reportedly got sentenced to anger management after admitting to harassment, but his lawyers say that's ancient history. But here's where it gets really interesting. Diddy's team calls the prosecution's whole strategy a total smear campaign. They claim the government is trying to paint him as a lifelong violent, dangerous, and deviant guy by dragging in every scandal and accusation from the last 2 decades. According to the lawyers, prosecutors want to flood the trial with so-called uncharged acts of misconduct and violence just to poison the jury's mind. They say the real goal isn't proving the actual crimes, but convincing everyone Diddy is a bad person who belongs behind bars, no matter what.